Greetings from Cybertron. This is SoundJack here with the review of the Transformers Power of the Primes Voyager class Starscream. Megatron's second in command and the leader of the Seekers has his own Voyager toy, and it's a combiner. Yes. It doesn't do Starscream many favors, the fact that his toy's a combiner. The torso mode, like on Grimlock, is really nice looking. The robot mode's the jet mode's really but that's my opinion. And I don't think this toy fits Starscream all that well. That's all I'm going to say before I really get into anything, but that's my main thing, the overall thoughts. This toy doesn't fit Starscream well. It could fit someone else better, but it doesn't really fit Starscream well, and it's also not the greatest of toys. But before we get into that, I gotta talk about the collector's card. So every single Power of the Primes figure that is not a Prime Master comes with one of 12 optional collector's cards. All of them have the same piece of artwork. In this case, Starscream posing and being being Starscreamy, with his name on the bottom and the Power of the Primes logo. But on the back, there are one of 12 different bios representing each Prime interacting with each character. And in this case, this is Alchemist Starscream, who distorts the atoms of his foes with magnetic wind. Yep, that's a thing. Yep, that's how that works. And before we move on, I did forget yesterday about Grimlock's card, and my Grimlock card is Vector Grimlock, who peers into the future to see when Grimlock King. Yep, that's a that's a card, and that's cool. That's really cool in my opinion. But anyway, taking a closer look at Starscream. He is a jet. He is certainly a jet of some variety. What kind of jet, I'm not entirely certain, but he is still, regardless, a jet. His main body is an off-white color, and I think mainly because of that and the black cockpit, and maybe the wing stickers as well, is that his jet mode gives more of a vibe of Generation 2 Starscream to me. If you don't know Generation 2, they had a lot of different color schemes for different characters, and Starscream was one of them, and I feel like these kind of colors do give more of a G2 Starscreamy vibe, to me at the very least. Granted, I never held the toys, either G1 or G2, but I get that kind of feeling from the jet mode, not the robot mode as much. The robot mode certainly G1 Starscreamy. Regardless. Speaking of on the jet mode, he's got a blue nose cone, he's got the black cockpit, like I mentioned, main off-white body, and a Decepticon sigil sticker right there. Let's see if I can get better focus on that, if you can see that. Yeah, there we go. As well as D22 on the sides of the jet mode, and then you got, over here, you got an Autobot kill counter. He's only killed 5 Autobots, it seems. And then you come back here, you got a little bit of red paint there. You got some stickers there. Those stickers right here are nice. Then you get to these wing stickers, and boy, they are not nice. Purely because like the silver is not the same, is not matching to the main body of the jet. It's like Voyager Titan's Return Megatron's chest stickers that are silvery and off, but they're small. So while they're annoying, they're not obnoxious, but since the fact these are the entire wings, that's obnoxious. That's just absolutely obnoxious. But anyway, taking a closer look at these stickers, there's this nice red, the nice part of the sticker is there's that nice red stripe, and there's a couple of caution symbols, warnings there. There's also, on the main silver body, you see Decepticon symbol, no step, ghost attack, and another D22 there, and there's a couple more no steps there. Main body is mostly white, some panel linings and stuff. You got white tail fins, and you got blue tail fins that have some nicer stickers with a red stripe, a little bit of reflective silver, and another D22 there. And then you come to the back, you got these large jet thrusters, and then underneath is just the robot. That's pretty much the entirety of the robot there. I'll talk more about the details there when we get to the robot mode, but there's the head, there's the arms, there's the legs. Starscream's almost in robot mode. Admittedly, I'm going to say that this transformation scheme, well, at least the general gist of it, are very similar to the Combiner Wars aerial bot mold, most notably the one that they used to make a Dreadwind, which I've reviewed on my channel, the Power of the Prime's Dreadwind. The legs just collapse in, the arms fall to the side, the head rotates around, and the nose comes up. But I think Dreadwind does a little bit better, probably because the limbs aren't so massive. Like, look at those arms. Look at those arms. Those are huge arms. And also, it's not too Starscream. Like, the legs going there are fine. The arms, kind of. Usually they collapse in a bit better, and then the chest usually forms the nose cone rather than the nose cone being an extra piece. So, like, I get it. It's just not really Starscreamy to me. I don't know. Yeah, but besides that, we also got a landing gear up here in the front, which just collapses and down like that and folds out like so. The landing gear feels really, really far forward to me. Like, I would have thought that, like, it would have, like, been where, like, the hinge would have been, like, right here where the wheel, like, goes into the body as opposed to coming up to the nose cone. So that just feels a little odd to me. But you definitely do need it because of Starscream's huge feet. Look at those feet just sticking underneath this jet. You need the landing gear to get him to stand upright. So that is a thing. Besides that, he also comes with a few accessories. He comes with his 2 null-rays, which you can see here in the same off-white as most of Starscream. And you can either plug them here, right there in those ports, or underneath the wings, like so, and like that. He also comes with 2 prime armor pieces that become combiner mode feet. They have these ratchet joints that allow for ankle articulation in the combined mode. These ports that allow for prime masters or tie-in masters to accommodate, and a 5mm post there, and a 5mm post there. So the 5mm post in the back is designed mostly if you want to give, put one of the extra combiner hands. Since you have 4 deluxes that each have a hand, you'll have 2 hands left over. You can put one of the combiner hands in there to give Starscream a little bit, well, any of the foot pieces a bit more foot, so, well, heel, I should say, a bit more heel, so as there's greater stability in the combined mode, if you want. And then since these are 5mm ports, you can plug them into 5mm holes on Starscream if you want to store them on him in his jet mode. And there are also these 5mm posts that fold down on these hinges right there, if you want to use those as well. But I'll get more into the use of those when we get to the robot mode. And the last thing that Starscream comes with is the Seeker Enigma. This is apparently what the Enigma combination looks like when Starscream possesses it. It's predominantly red with a bit of purplish paint on it. It is hollow, of course, and excuse me. It inserts into the same places the Prime Masters and Titan Masters do, both in terms of the Prime Armor in the block form, so like it inserts there, and also anywhere that a Titan Master post socket is, because, let me get this Enigma out, there we go, because this bit right here is the same size as the Titan Master head connectors, so you can use these and connect them with Titan Masters and get a really weird head shape going on there, if you really want to. But regardless, there is a place to store in vehicle mode, and you open these panels up, and then you can put the Seeker Enigma in here, and then collapse that there, but this is really more so for the combined mode. But again, you can also store this in the Voyager Prime Armor pieces that Starscream comes with. That being said, now let's get into some. Oh wait, before we move on, I did forget one thing. He does have a bunch of Titan Master ports on him. There's one there, there, and there. So 6 in total on this jet mode. You can stick a Titan Master or a Prime Master on, and have them stand on Starscream jet mode if you want. Now we can move on to the size comparisons. So Here he is next to Legends class Bumblebee. And you can see how well he scales. I'm going to have to raise the camera up a little bit since Starscream is a long jet. We have Deluxe class Chrome Gnome. And you can see how they scale. Voyager class Megatron. And you can see how well they scale. And Leader class 6-shot. And you can see how they scale. And Starscream's even longer than 6-shot in his car mode. So, with that all said, let's roll right along to the combined form before we get on to the robot mode. So, we'll take it to the combined mode city first, and this is going to be a part where I'm going to have to make a complaint about this toy. So first thing you're going to have to do is that you're going to have to lift these panels up and out, like so. The problem with mine, and as well as lifting that up, you're going to have to lift that whole nose cone up and then pull those pieces out as well. The thing with this, though, is this is a 5mm, that's a 5mm, no, that's just a post that goes into that screw hole right there. And then there's a hinge that allows it to rotate so as it can move about and fit into that hole. Problem is on my left side, I did that and the pin just fell out. Like the whole thing snapped, and this is apparently attached by a pin to the rotational bit. So it snapped off of mine, and this is broke. This is entirely broke. That was something I entirely did myself, so that's a warning to you to be careful. Apparently, it's staying in. It's staying in a lot better than it was. I don't know what happened. Also, I completely lost the pin. The pin was still in that hole right there when that broke, so it fell out somewhere, and I'm just noticing now that it's missing. So, fair warning if that can break. Just a completely fair warning. Next thing you're going to do is going to come underneath and untab the arms from the sides. There's a hole right there that tabs in there. Then there's a slot right there that fits that tab up there. So untap that and just move them out to the sides for the time being. And then we're going to take these panels, we're going to move them up, then we're going to rotate these fists around. And then we're going to collapse them down with that tab going into that slot right there. That tab into that slot right there. And then we can rotate all of that around on those hefty ratchets. Fold it all down and then rotate that. So the front of the combiner port is the same side as where the nose cone is. So we'll do that on the other side. Fold that, rotate. Flip that around and collapse this down like so. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to come back here and we're going to pull out the legs. I'm going to do that for the time being. You don't need to extend them completely, but that makes it a little easier for me, in my opinion. And actually, you're going to want them rotated this way around. So, like that compared to where Starscream's robot mode chest is. Then we'll collapse them down, and when we collapse them down, that tab right there is going to go into that slot right there to keep these in place. It's going to be a little bit of fidgeting work, but we'll get it. We will get it. I'll try to see if I can get it on camera for you. It is a little tough. There we are. There, and then you still gotta get them straightened out because it just folds in on itself and it's not really on a track, so you do have to work on getting it straight. But I have it straightened out. And then you just come down here and flip those panels down. Flip those panels down and to just help cover those gaps. And next, what you're gonna do, you're gonna come. Actually, no, that's not what you're gonna do next. Well, actually, no, yeah, it is. We're going to come up here and we're going to fold the nose cone up, and then those two tabs right there, and they're going to go into those slots there and there. And then there are grooves on these bits right here that fit into those tabs on the wings there to help hold that into place. It doesn't do anything securely at all, and it's especially going to be loose since my one piece is loose, unfortunately. Then we can come up here, fold the wings up, and then there's these extra wing bits go into those holes right there. And then you fold that wing out like so. So there's most of the torso all ready to go, and then we actually will flip those feet down to get the arm ports ready to go. Last thing we need to do is to get this combined Starscream's head out. So you're going to have to get the head out, and then you're going to do that by opening this chest panel, like so. Then we're going to flip this up and around, and we're going to take this bit right here that was just folded down like that and extend it out. I'm going to fold that up, and we'll actually get Starscream's head rotated around like so. And then this is going to fold down on that joint, and then these tabs will fit into those grooves right there to help finalize locking the torso into place. And we have that. And there you have Starscream on his torso mode. And admittedly, the torso mode looks pretty neat. It gives off a bit of movie Starscream because he's kind of can see the Dorito-shaped chest he's got going on. But admittedly, it does it pretty well. Oh wait, I forgot. I didn't finish transforming. Whoops. I forgot. I gotta hide Starscream's head inside the gap where the combined head was. Now we're done. Now we're done. And now this is Starscream in its combined mode. Sorry about that. But yeah. So, like I said, very much seemingly based on movie Starscream's mode, though the head design does take inspiration from the '86 movie where he had that crown. And speaking of the head, let's take a closer look at that head, and you can see it's mainly just a larger Starscream head, just to fit Starscream's ego better. He's got a black helmet, he's got a silver face, he's got nice red eyes, he's got the gold crown and a little bit of pink purple on the front of the crown that matches the Enigma. And then you can see the stickers that were on the wings that are up here now, and the wings are there. You got the torso right here, that same sticker. You got these legs here. You got a little bit of blue stickers right there. The legs are mostly blue there. Then you come around to the back, and you can see the back is pretty clean. The only thing you really see is Starscream's robot mode chest. There. We can insert the Enigma at this point, and we can open this section like so, and tab this in. And now Starscream has the Enigma of combination in him. So I mentioned in Grimlock's review that I'm going to save the showing off Grimlock's the Volcanicus's entire combined mode for a separate video when I got the team. That's not going to happen with Starscream because he does not have his own combiner team. So I'm just going to very briefly show off a combined mode. This is the combined form suggested in the instructions. I just got to get a couple more pieces already off screen. Just get the foot pieces into place, and then we will be good to combine. And we are now good to combine. So first thing we're going to take the legs and combine them. So we're going to take the Dreadwind here and make him his right leg, and we're just going to slide the combiner port into the combiner tab into the combiner slot. And we'll take Swoop for the left leg and do the same. And we're going to need the camera up. I'm actually going to have to raise the entire stand at this point. 1 second. Yeah, that should hopefully do. Yeah. So we got that, and then we're going to have Slug make up the left arm. If Slug's arm will stay tabbed together, which it's not wanting to do for me right now. Come on, Slug, you're on camera. And then have Jazz make up the right arm. And there you can see a Starscream in his combined form and a full combined gestalt. This is the recommended configuration from Starscream's instructions. But again, these combiner ports fit any of the combiner wars or Power of the Primes deluxes, so you can mix and match whatever you want to do. I've seen a lot of people using the Combaticon limbs as Starscream limbs, since Starscream was instrumental in their creation in the original series. But quick articulation on him. Starscream's head can rotate a full 360 degrees, can look very far up and down. Shoulders can, I'm going to see how, I haven't actually done much movement with this, so, very tight slug's arms. But the arms are able to do rotating things. You can rotate a full 360 degrees. They're being a pain right now, but they can rotate a full 360 degrees. They can bend at the elbows. The wrists can rotate. Slug, stop being a pain, please. I need you for this review. Please. The legs can bend that far back. And that far forward. Thanks to the combiner limb section, there is a knee joint. There is a swivel there. If Swoop and Slug were more solid limbs, this would be a lot easier. But they are not, apparently. So that's going to maybe be annoying when we get to Volcanicus. There, like I mentioned before, there's ratchet tilting in the ankles, so you can get wide stance poses out of the combiners. Or you can just have them fall over. Oh, okay. This is a mess. This is an absolute mess. But, yeah, that's the main articulation on the combined form. And again, this is just to give you an idea of what combined Starscream looks like, since he doesn't truly have a combined form or a combiner name. So let's take all of this off. Let's take all of that off. Take that off. Or I just untransform him. Take that off. And take that off. And now I just gotta fix Starscream here. Boy, that was a mess, wasn't it? I'm gonna have to try to work on getting a combiner on screen for the next reviews, but I will have it fixed for the next time. But we are not talking about other combiners right now. We are talking about Starscream, and now that we are done looking at Starscream combined form, we can get onto the robot mode. So I'm just gonna pull the Enigma out of here and close that all up. And then we're going to take these pieces, move them out of the way, untab the head from the jet section, open this up, flip Starscream's robot head through, and fold the combiner head down into the cavity, like so. Next, we're going to come, extend the legs, flip the feet down. Extend the legs, flip the feet down, and then these tabs, these panels will fit into those holes right there. So that tabs in solidly and securely. Same thing on the other side. That tab goes into that hole, so that panel fits and fills the legs very nicely. Then we're just going to come up here, rotate the arms down, pull this panel out, or just pull it off the friction hinge, which can happen, but it's a friction hinge, so that's not something to be worried about. There it goes. Then we just rotate that assembly around, the fist around, collapse this panel. Oh wait, no, I got that on backwards. I put that panel on backwards. And then collapse that down and tab that into place, and do the same on the other side. Fold the panel out, rotate it around, collapse the panel down. There we are. Ratchets, Starscream's got some very hardy ratchets. Rotate Starscream's head around. And we're going to come back here. We're going to rotate this whole thing around like so. And then we're going to fold the wings out like so. Fold the wings out like so. Fold those down. And there you have Starscream in his robot mode. And proportions-wise, this is... wow. Look at the size of Starscream's head. Look at the size of his arms. And look at the size of his thighs. Those are massive. Those are very beefy legs and limbs and a very tiny head. And it doesn't feel like Starscream. It doesn't feel like Starscream. We know this is going to get retooled into Elita 1, and especially with her IDW portrayal currently, that will probably fit her a fair bit better. But it doesn't fit Starscream. Like this design has been used in the IDW comics. This is the current design of Starscream in the IDW comics. However, I think they play with the proportions a bit to make that better. So this is just... this may appeal to you. This just doesn't appeal to me as my definitive Starscream for Generation 1. Though they made an attempt to make a Commando. I like the Commando torso. The robot mode is just off to me. And before we get into looking closer at the robot mode, one thing I do need to say is that this is supposed to like hold down, like this whole entire backpack is supposed to like hold down onto Starscream's back, and you can see it's going to be hard to see, but there's that tab, that peg right there that should go into that hole right there, and I will show you right there. It's supposed to fit in there to lock that all into place, but it doesn't, so the backpack ends up wiggling around a little bit. So what I tend to do is to take those extra bits here, fold them up like so to give Starscream a little bit more security. Well, I like to before I broke it. I broke that one panel. So that's how I like to display him. But again, since I broke that, I think I can glue that together, so that should be fine. But for now, I'll just leave Starscream like this, and hopefully the backpack doesn't move around too much. Taking a closer look, you see Starscream's head. It's black helmet, silver face, red eyes, and he's got some luscious lips going on there on that face sculpt. Got a little bit of stickers up here with some black, yeah, if I can get lighting on there. Yeah, it's predominantly silver, some black lines and yellow black circles and yellow filled in circles. Those stickers are pretty neat. Those are nice stickers. Then you got his intake chest nipples there. And you got a black fake cockpit there, a little bit silver there. A crooked Decepticon symbol right there. I should have checked the packaging before I picked the Starscream out. See if I could have gotten one with that. Had more straight Decepticon symbol, but oh well. Then you got his white shoulder pads. You got blue forearms and blue fists going on there. His lower legs, his thighs are completely that same white. His lower legs are also the same white. Blue for the kneecaps with a little bit of sticker detail there. A little bit of blue there. Big blue feet and some stickers on the feet, though the stickers don't look great because of the molding underneath them. But yeah, and there's also bits of red here and there on the main Starscream chest. And then there's the backpack, which is predominantly the entirety of the jet mode. Yeah, look at how thick those legs are. He did not skip leg day. For articulation for him, his head can rotate a full 360 degrees. It can look up and down a little bit because of how it hinges for transformation things. He can look very far down and not as far up. His arms are on the ratchet, so they can rotate a full 360 degrees if you get the wings out of the way. They are able to bend out to the side that far. There is also a bicep swivel allowing 360 degrees of rotation, and an elbow bend allowing for 90 degrees of articulation, and nothing at the fists, nothing at the waist, but his legs are able to, if I can get him to show it off, bend that far forward, that far back only because of backpack stuff, and that far out. He does have a thigh swivel allowing for 360 degrees of rotation, and his knees can bend at a 90-degree angle. The feet can pivot because of they cover these combiner slots, I should say. So if you think you can use those, you can, but I don't think they're going to be all that useful since how big the rest of Starscream's legs are. So for his accessories, he can have his null-rays go into the slots on his shoulders, and there you go. That's a pretty good default Starscream look, I would think. You can take his combiner feet, which are where'd Swoop go? Oh, there's Swoop. Sorry about that. You can take the combiner feet, the Voyager Prime armor. You can flip these posts down and plug the null rays into the ends of the armor. Do that on the other side, and then you can peg them into the same ports on the arms and give him super null rays. I guess you can do that if you want. I don't care for that look, but it's an option if you want them stored. If you want the Prime armor stored on Starscream. He can also hold them in his hands. He can hold everything that is the 5mm in his hands, so he can wield his rifles if he wants. He also still has these two storage points on his wings, so you can use those as well. And again, storage for the Enigma is either in the Prime armor or in this space on the back of the jet mode, in the cockpit of the jet mode. So yeah, that's all there is to say. Wow. So that's all there is to say on Starscream's robot mode. So now let's get a look into some robot mode size comparisons. Here he is with Legends class Bumblebee. And Bumblebee comes up to a little bit midway on his thigh. We have Deluxe class Chrome Dome. And Chrome Dome comes up to the bottom of the fake chest cockpit on Starscream. Voyager class Megatron. And Starscream's about half a head shorter than Megatron is. About the same height as Grimlock, though certainly he is a lot beefier than Grimlock is, which is... Well, there's a lot more mass on Starscream because of all this jet stuff, which is weird considering it's Grimlock. But yeah. And then Leader class 6 shot. And you can see Starscream comes up to about the bottom of the 6 shots chest wing. And then of course, here he is with the channel's mascots, Soundwave and Wheeljack, so you can see how he looks next to them. Overall with Starscream, I don't like him. If the stickers were better, as in they were tampagraphs or paint applications, that would make this toy a bit better. If the feet weren't as bulky as they were, that would make them better. And this toy better. There's a few things I could have done to make this toy better and better proportioned and better looking, but they didn't, and I don't like it for those reasons. And I also think it's not right for Starscream, if that makes sense. I mentioned before, like, I don't think this mold is truly for Starscream. I think this mold is going to work better for what a lot of fans expect is going to be Leozak, which I will gladly get. I will gladly get that. But this, I mean, like, the shapes are there, the wings are where they are. So this definitely makes sense for Starscream to be a Voyager in this toy line. I just don't like it. I don't. Yeah, I probably would have passed on this if I wasn't doing a review channel. So that's my thought on this toy. I don't care for it. Grimlock is much better than Starscream, but Grimlock's not great, but he's certainly better choice in my opinion than Starscream. But it's all up to you what you think of the toys, what your opinions are, and all of that. So if you actually if you see something in here you like, then definitely pick up Starscream. I do still like the torso mode, and that's going to be fun to play around with other combiner limbs. But overall, for the robot and vehicle modes, I just don't. It's just off to me for Starscream. But anyway, that's all I have to say on Starscream. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, please like and share this video and subscribe to the channel. You can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram at SoundJack426. Also, please consider donating on my Patreon page that helps support the channel. All of the links will be in the description below. Thanks for tuning in. This is SoundJack signing off.